The Link Show is just about to start. If you want to be a part of The Link Show, head over to linkkids.com.au/live.
Today on The Link Show, it is our final week on our series Under Construction.
Which means it's our final week of the Mario Maker Challenge, thank goodness.
My goodness, but we'll be linking in with kids all around the world and reading your shout-outs. All that and more.
Let's get linked!
If you listen... Oh, sorry, it's coming up,
Hold on. Big.
Welcome back to The Link Show. It is our final week, and guess what, Cece?
Tell me,
I read the scripts. I know what we're doing today.
is this the first time you
Yes.
read the script? Alright, you read the script. What are we doing today?
Oh, I didn't really understand it.
Good, that's what we're actually doing. We're talking about the Tower of Babel and how they didn't understand.
Oh, that's right. You know what? My head hurts. I've done too much reading. Can you read the shout-outs today, please?
Absolutely.
Hey, Buckle here again, and I get to read your shout-outs again this week. Aspen says, it's so funny how Miguel finally listened to what Buckle said. I know, right? It took him a whole series. Agnes says, hey Buckle, CC and Miguel, I absolutely love the Mario Challenge, a great game. Thanks, Agnes. We love doing games for all of you. We have a message here from Anchdeep saying, hey Buckle, I hope you can come and visit us in Western Australia. Keep up the good work. Actually, yes, I will be coming over to Western Australia very soon. Stay tuned. I'll let you know when I'm coming. All right, we're in our last week of our series called Under Construction, and it's pretty funny because we're actually going to be looking at a story in the Bible later of a construction, something being built. We'll get to that in a second, but I want to talk to you a little bit about a time where I was trying to fit in with everybody else. I was being a little bit prideful, a bit selfish, and I was trying to fit in. So what I did was I didn't have nice clothes at the time, and all my friends were getting into like brand name swimming clothes because we lived near the beach. So they were wearing like Billabong and Rip Curl and all these cool brands of clothes, and I just had some random clothes. And so what I did was I went to like an op shop, a second-hand shop, and I found a pair of wrecked, destroyed, brand named swimming shorts. But what I did was I got some scissors and I cut the logo off the pants like it was a brand name logo, and then I sewed it onto my swimmers so that my swimmers looked like they were expensive brand name really nice swimmers. And so I thought, when I get to school, everyone's going to see these swimmers, they're going to think I'm amazing, I'm going to be popular all of a sudden. And I get to school, no one even noticed. It didn't even matter. But I was thinking about how much it mattered to me what other people thought about me instead of thinking what God thinks about me. I put all of my focus and all of my identity in what other people thought. I wanted to make a name for myself so that when other people looked at me, they said, oh, you're amazing. Oh, you're incredible. I was putting what other people thought of me ahead of what God thought about me. But the thing with that is when we start living our lives that way, when we start living our lives trying to make other people like us instead of doing what God wants, things start to go wrong. We start to let pride seep into our lives. We start to think that we're more important than maybe we really are. You see, we are important and God does love us, but there's a point where we can think that we're more important than the people around us. We're more important than God. And when we start to go down this road of trying to make a name for ourselves, that's when things start falling apart. You might have heard the old saying that pride comes before a fall. You see, so often in our lives, the biggest trip ups or when things go really wrong, they tend to be at the end of the path where we've spent our time trying to make ourselves important and our names big instead of seeking after God. And so a little later on, there's a story in the Bible of a whole group of people that did exactly this. They got together and they thought, you know what, we can make a name for ourselves. We can make ourselves more important than even God himself. We will be known across the entire world. They were trying to become popular. We're going to learn all about that and how we need to stay humble, but we'll learn about that in just a minute.
We are back with our final week of Mario Maker.
Thank goodness. It's been a lot of fun. I've learnt a lot.
I'm 4 of 5. This is my series.
This is your series. Alright, should we see what we're in for this week?
Let's go see.
Let's go, Lucky.
Your mission today is called the Almost Impossible Challenge. You'll each take turns, and the person who gets the furthest in 5 minutes wins.
The Almost Impossible
I don't
Challenge.
like the name of that.
Would you like to go first? I was raised with the saying ladies first. I was raised right.
I'm okay to not follow that rule today.
Okay, so you want me to start first?
Please do. So scared.
Oh my goodness!
Yep, okay.
Eh?
It's impossible. That's what we're going with.
Good luck, turn by turn. So I feel like
Okay.
it's whoever runs the longest distance at this point. But, oh!
Yes, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to not
What?
that.
Seriously.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm waiting for... Why can't I go? Yep.
Oh my. So
I
there's
feel
spikes at the top.
Well, I feel like we've got to wait for the rockets to go.
Okay.
So
Just
they
wait.
get over that thing. Oh, how? Oh my gosh. No! It's nowhere at this point. Look out. Oh, you
Bro,
jumped
I
into it.
literally, my thumb twitched.
You jumped.
My hand is cramping from this right now. It's actually crazy. Oh, the fire.
Oh, there was a fire.
Dude, this is not-
Nothing hit me.
This is not the almost impossible challenge. This is
It's
impossible.
Okay. Look out for the fire. Oh.
Ain't no way.
Hello, Funny Man Dan here, and I'm the one that made up these courses for CC Miguel, and I don't understand, why do they think this one's so hard? It's probably the easiest one you could ever do. Let me show you. So you need to run as fast as you can, and you come down, you bounce off that, hit those guys, run through, get the super leaf, bounce once, twice, 3 times, hit the bomb until you get on Yoshi. Now you gotta take Yoshi, jump him over, and then you go through the pipe. Simple as that. Then all you need to do is lose Yoshi, bounce over the top, avoid the fireballs, jump through, change the walls, hit through, lose him again, go over the top, changing all the walls to suit you, back on Yoshi. And then simply go all the way underneath, get the star, get all of the guys, and finish. Simple as that. I mean, was that really that hard?
My hand is actually so sore right now from this.
Do you know what? It's making me feel a lot better about myself that you are doing terrible.
I've actually gone further, and I think that's
Who's gonna
the
go
challenge.
further?
That's the challenge. I'm just gonna chill over here.
Look out for the fire. Look out for the
Boys
bullet.
of fire. Is that our time?
So it looks like Miguel won.
Yeah.
I think I
but
did.
Barely, because we didn't. None of you guys got off the platform.
No.
What
We
a
both
final!
lost.
What a final match
That was wild.
to end on.
While we sit here and sort our lives out, let's go watch this week's animated Bible story.
At the beginning of the Bible, everybody in the world spoke the same language. And so as people started to travel and look for places to live, they found a large grass plain and decided that that would be a great place to build their home. But after a little while, the people all said to each other, "Let's build the biggest city that anybody has ever seen. And let's build a tower that is so tall it reaches up beyond the clouds." The people wanted to become the most famous and important people in the entire world, and they wanted to do it without God's help. But after a while, God looked down and saw what the people were doing. He knew that they were making the tower to try to make themselves more important. And so God created new languages. He changed the words that people spoke so that they couldn't understand each other. And so the people stopped building and spread out all around the world in groups according to the language that they all spoke. That place became known as Babel because God changed the people's languages. Okay, so in this story, the people are building this tower. They're like, maybe we can build a tower that reaches all the way to the heavens, like up into the sky, into the clouds. The world will all know about us. They'll think that we are amazing. We will make a name for ourselves. We will be even more important than God. And so God sees their hearts and he sees this pride that is building inside them. And he knows that at the end of that path of pride leads to destruction. And so he intervenes. He steps in, not because he's angry, but because he loves us. He doesn't want us to go down that path where our lives fall apart because we've spent every moment trying to make ourselves popular instead of seeking after him. See, here's the thing. When you build your life on your own name, on your own pride, it's like building a house on sand. That it might look impressive for a while, but eventually when life gets rough, things fall apart. But when we build our lives and our identity, who we are, on the Word of God, on the Bible, on who Jesus is and what He did for our lives, it doesn't matter what comes against us, our lives can stand firm. And so God saw this. He knew what this path was. And so He steps in and He says, I can't let this happen. And so He mixes up their languages and He spreads people all over the world. You see, I don't believe God did that out of anger. I believe that God did what He needed to do to save them from a far worse outcome if He didn't intervene. And the truth is, sometimes in our lives, when we get prideful and when we let ourselves become the most important person in our world, things get really tough, because when that world breaks, who we are breaks, our identity breaks. But when we put our trust in who Jesus is and who God is, it doesn't matter what people say about us anymore, because we're in unity not with what we want, but we're in unity with who God is. And so this is the idea between pride and humility. You see, being humble doesn't mean staying quiet and not talking to anybody. I mean, anyone that knows me knows I'm loud. I'm big personality. I love getting involved in conversation. Lots of people know me, know Buckle, but my life hasn't been trying to make me popular. I'm not out trying to make Buckle popular. The entire reason for my life is because I want to make sure that you know who God is. I want to make God popular. And so I'm doing that in humility, knowing that everything I do isn't because of me, but who God made me. And so my life is built on the foundation of who I know God is in my life. And I know that He wants to do the exact same thing for you. He wants to give you a foundation so that you can build your life on who He is and who He made you. Because when you realize who that person is, that version of you that God made, nothing can stand against you. So this is what I want you to remember. It's a big point. Stay humble.
We did it! We made it to the end. I'm so excited.
Do you know what I'm excited for?
What are you excited?
No more Mario Maker challenges.
Oh,
I'm
that was-
so over video games.
That was so much fun.
Hey guys, how you doing? Oh, that was a good series. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy
Wait, what?
it. Huh?
Okay. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with us for the Under Construction series, all about the stories in the book of Genesis. Hey, if you do have a Bible, you should go read it for yourself as well, because they're actually quite an interesting read. But next week, we're starting a brand new series. I'm really excited.
No more video games?
We'll see. It's a surprise. We can't let you
hope
know
it's
what's
video
happening yet. But remember, you can do the quiz, you can send in shoutouts on the website, all those sorts of things. But I'm Buckle,
I'm Cece.
And I'm Miguel.
and we'll see you next week on The
Link Show.
See you later.